Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Aryan. Before I move on to explaining fractions, please note there is a lot of effort to produce these tutorials. So do not forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you will never miss a video. In part 1 I will explain equivalent fractions, simplifying mixed numbers, and finding a fraction of a quantity. Let's suppose I have a fraction a over b. The top number, a, is called the numerator, and b is called the denominator. Three over 5. If we multiply this fraction by the same number up and down, say I multiply by 2, then I obtain a fraction 6 over 10. 3 over 5 and 6 over 10 are equivalent fractions. So basically, if I multiply by the same number, numerator and denominator, then I obtain a new fraction, which is equivalent to the original fraction. Most of the questions on the exam are not being asked this way. They'll be asked in this format. 2 over 5, which is like 10 over x. You need to find the number x. We probably notice that the number 2 has been multiplied by 5. To obtain an equivalent fraction, I need to multiply the denominator by 5. So then the fraction becomes 10 over 25. So 2 over 5 and 10 over 25 are equivalent fractions. We can also divide by the same number. For example, if I have 8 over 12, and if I divide by 4, top and bottom, then I get another fraction, which is 2 over 3. We obtain equivalent fractions by dividing or multiplying by the same number, the numerator and the denominator. Let's suppose we get some questions to find the missing term. The first one, we've done it above. So let's do the second one. What we notice is that the 7 has been multiplied by 2. So I need to multiply the denominator by 2. So that will be just 10. So 10 over 14. 8 over 9. That 8 has been multiplied by 3. So I need to multiply the denominator by 3. So therefore 9 times 3 is 27. On the fourth fraction, we've got 40 over 48. We notice that has been divided by 8. 48 divided by 8 is 6. So 40 divided by 8 is 5. So they are the missing terms of those fractions. Let's get another exercise. Write down the value of x in the following equations. Of course, if we inspect it, we multiply the 3 divided by 2. So 2 times 2, that will be x will be 4. On the next one, we see that 2 has been multiplied by 3. So I need to divide 15 divided by 3 to obtain x. So x equals 5. And perhaps on the last one, you will notice that I've been dividing by 8. Divide by 8. So therefore, 24 divided by 8 gives x equals 3. The next one is a bit difficult because 8 multiplied by 30, I need to find that number. That's difficult. So what I'm going to do is 30 divided by 8 to find that number, or divide by 2 up and down, that's 15 over 4. Therefore, 8 has been multiplied by 50 over 4. So if I multiply 15 multiplied by 15 over 4, I will get 225 over 4. To summarize this, we can multiply or divide the fraction by the same number up and down to obtain an equivalent fraction. To simplify fraction is also known as we cancel it down, we reduce the fraction. In mathematics, we never leave a fraction which is not in a simplified form. So let's take some examples. Say if I have the fraction 12 over 15. I can divide by 3 up and down. And that's 4 over 5. So we always leave the fractions in the simplest form. If I have 16 over 40, you probably noticed by now that I can divide by 8, and then I obtain 2 over 5. 9 over 24 equals, divide by 3 up and down, so it will be 3 over 8. If I have 50 over 75, I can divide by 5. So that will be 10 over 75 divided by 5, it's 15. I can divide by 5 again, and that will be 2 over 3. Say if I have 35 over 42, divide by 7 up and down, and then I will have 5 over 6. To simplify fractions, we divide by the same number, the numerator and denominator, to reduce it to the lowest terms. Mixed numbers. Any number like 3.5, it's called mixed number. And to express this number in a top-heavy fraction, the 2 multiplies the 3, and then we add 1. 2 times 3 is 6. Add 1 is 7. So 7 over 2 is the fraction. And that fraction is top-heavy fraction, because the numerator is bigger than denominator. If I have a fraction 3 over 5, that is called proper fraction, because it's not top-heavy. The numerator is smaller than the denominator. But if I have a fraction 11 over 6, then that's top-heavy. Mathematics will never leave a top-heavy fraction. So, there is 1/6 into 11, and the remainder is 5, and that's 6. If we go back here, you will notice that I can multiply by multiplying here and add in there. So that will be the same. 6 times 1, 6. Add 5 is 11 over 6. It's exactly where I started from. Let's take some examples on this. Say if I have a mixed number 4 and a fifth. To change that one into top-heavy fraction, we multiply here and add. So 4 times 5 is 20. Add 1 is 21 over 5. So that's a top-heavy fraction. Let's get another one. Minus 2 and 3 sevenths. Exactly the same procedure applies. Multiply and then add. Momentarily we forget about the minus. 7 times 2, 14. Add 3, 17 over 7. And there will be a minus right there. That's okay if we have a mixed number and we change it into top-heavy. Now we're going to take the example where we have a top-heavy fraction and we change it into a mixed number. Say if I have 19 over 3. You will notice that there is 6 3's into 19. 6 times 3 is 18, and the remainder is 1. Let's get another example. 50 over 18. You will notice that before I change this top-heavy fraction into a mixed number, I need to cancel it down. So dividing by 2 up and down, that's 25 over 9. You will agree with me that there is 2 9's into 25, 9 times 2 is 18, and there will be a 7. 27 over 3. Quite clearly, 27 divided by 3 is just 9. The next topic is finding a fraction of a quantity. And this is always a topic on the test that involves fraction. For example, we can have things like find 5 over 6 of 18 kilograms. To do this one here, we divide by 6 and then multiply by 5. So step 1, 18 divided by 6, which is 3. And then step 2, 3 times 5, which is 15. You probably will notice the rule by now. So to find the fraction of a quantity, I divide by the denominator and multiply by the numerator. So on a simple terms, that means divide by the bottom, multiply by the top. And I'm sure you have heard that before. What fraction of the pizza remains if 4 over 9 has been eaten? The whole pizza, it's like a 1 minus 4 over 9. Of course, 1, it's in this case, it's like 9 over 9. Take away 4 over 9, and that's just 5 over 9. Let's do another problem. Jim spent 5/8 of his weekend money and was left with 120. The 120 represents 3/8. So what I'm saying, 3/8 of his total should be 120. So therefore, in this case, I just do not do the rule, divide by the bottom, multiply by the top. I'm going to do 120 divided by 3, which is 40. And then 40 multiplied by 8, which is 320. So therefore, Jim had 320 pounds. Gwyneth read 3/8 of the book on Friday and a fifth of it on Saturday. On Sunday, she read the rest 80 pages. How many pages there is in a book? First of all, let's add 3 over 8, add 1 over 5. The common denominator is 40. So multiply that by 5, that fraction by 5, and that by 8. To obtain the following, 15 over 40 plus 8 over 40. And that is 23 over 40. So that's the fraction of the book that she has read. So the fraction of the book that she has not read, it's 17 out of 40. We are being asked to find the total number of pages. So 17 out of 40 of the total number of pages, which I call it x in this case, should be equal to 80. To solve that, we do 80 multiply by 40 and divide by 17. And that will be 188.2. So the book has 188 pages. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. So please stay tuned for part 2 on how to rearrange fractions, add, subtract, multiply and divide. So please click on the screen now. There is a free copy for you to download in the description below.